I just found out James is stalking my profile again. He noticed that I took the initiative to share the International Electrotechnical Commission's webinar videos discussing the standardization of biodigital convergence, and he is highly envious that I have actually shared a copy for others to readily view, something he has failed to do all these years, despite how much more practical it would have been for others to genuinely learn. He has done nothing more than redistribute a few presentation slides with some links that he knows good and well very few have taken the time to open. He made sure to remind me, like he does everyone else, that I allegedly do nothing in the real world. He's always assuming that because I'm not going on here to brag about things I'm doing to inform people outside of social media, that it must mean that I'm not doing anything. That's exactly what a corrupt government sold out to the corporations would want you to do. Tell on yourself so they know that you may actually be a real threat. Who's to say that he didn't receive his government money just to be a honeypot? He may very well be getting paid to bait people into exposing themselves for doing something. I highly doubt it. I think his only agenda is to inflate his ego and put others down to build himself up. It's as simple as this. He found a niche topic that he thinks he understands, and then proceeds to go and make a fool of himself in the Ottawa City Council for no other reason than to pretend he accomplished something and is, therefore, better than everyone else. He then hops on Facebook, where he actually spends most of his time, to receive endless narcissistic supply, boasting how he is a very much indeed better than everyone else, because they have failed to meet his unattainable standard of being as awesome and qualified for the job as he. James is just a dumbass, because he is just talking to mainly computer bots, and does not even know all the facts on what people are actually doing outside of Facebook. He just thinks he knows. If any one of us even bothered wasting his or her breath trying to receive his validation by explaining any such efforts made in the real world, as he allegedly so desires, that person would become his next subject for ritual abuse. Does he also not have the capacity to see his own cognitive dissonance? Every moment he spends hours typing up his garbage about how amazing he is yet another moment he could be even more proactive, reaching out to others outside of the internet. James is nothing but a fucking loser. Just look at him. He also looks for other people online who are doing their best to diligently do honest research, finds what he likes from their posts, and then copies and pastes. Not just the research and the links provided, but even people's personal opinions. After ripping others off, he goes and pastes what he has copied, word for word, to other social media accounts behind their backs, as if it was his own. Despite the fact he went out of his way to unfriend me months ago, even writing me in private messages to tell me that I am supposedly his bitch. he still to this day has been looking me up just so he can go out of his way to share my personal thoughts over on his X account without caring to even mention me. No matter how cruel he has chosen to be for no logical reason, I have never once returned the negative energy he so desires back to him. The best thing you can do when dealing with someone like him is to just be silent. I don't give a rat's ass about likes or getting attention on here whatsoever. The only reason I would want people to share my posts is so that others have a greater potential to learn, just as I am doing for my own self. As far as the research goes, this is just a great repository for keeping the information and being able to search it back up later for my own progress and learning. The only time I find myself harshly criticizing others is when I'm trying to slap some sense into them regarding the very real dangers of relying on AI, which is a pretty damn good reason. I'm never going to bash you about how far you are on your journey to understand the truth. And I'm never going to make it my business to assume what you are doing with your own time outside of what I see you posting on your social media accounts. That would just be a stupid and futile waste of time and energy for all of us. It is not anyone's concern to step in and state their worthless opinion. Not every one of us is capable of properly comprehending the wide range of academic subjects required to even come close to understanding what the hell is going on in this world, let alone being capable of taking leadership. As long as you truly want to learn, that is all that matters. James is not wrong that every one of us should be trying in some way to be proactive. But just because you might know a few things does not mean that you are now an authority regarding biodigital convergence. The last thing I would ask you to do is go around pretending that you are now qualified to teach others about it. Why do you think almost no one in society wants to be open-minded or willing to listen to what any one of us has to say, no matter how hard we try? I know the answer. It is because there are way too many people spreading useless and sometimes even destructive propaganda presented as the truth, when it is, in fact, lies. It has only accelerated beyond our wildest imagination since the popularization of AI. Best case scenario, the information being shared is actually credible and easily proven. Yet the opportunity is ruined simply because that person decided to not even bother trying to back up the claim with any sources. And the few people who do provide a source refer to a website that is laughable and blatantly dishonest. You don't have to be right on everything to have my respect. But if you are going to start running your mouth, I expect only two things. You will be honest, first and foremost. Secondly, you will not be so lazy as to spread some trendy yet deceptive meme or some screenshot that you got from someone else without even making any attempt whatsoever to back it up. sometimes, very rarely, some of this lazy research actually has a basis in fact. And it disheartens me to say that it was actually, there have been times where it's actually a piece of cake to prove. Yet somehow, out of all the people who claim to care so much about the truth, I ended up being the only person that even tried going the extra mile to provide evidence. I don't mean to say this to make myself look any better than any one of you. But as angry as I once was with those who are completely asleep, I'm rude when I think of what the so-called truther community has become. Some people I've met in this community have proven themselves to be far less intelligent than any sleeper I have met in my entire life. Some topics are just not even worth thinking about, and are clearly designed by those in power to serve as a pointless distraction so that people make zero progress exposing the truly relevant topics that we can all agree need to be understood well if we are ever to hold anyone accountable. It's not your job to be someone's guru. It is simply your duty to be adequately aware so that you are capable of making informed decisions when it is time to resist tyranny and you are truly put to the test. It is your duty to demonstrate to others that you are not in this for yourself, and you are genuinely willing to put your life on the line for others, if that is what it takes. That is the meaning of love for humanity. If you have lost this one thing, you have already lost the game. Who cares what knowledge you have? You may as well be friends with Bill Gates as far as I'm concerned. James Scott MacKillop is a perfect example of what I am talking about. I actually want to have respect for his friend Matt, since he has never once chosen to lower himself by insulting me or anyone else. The only criticism I would have of him is that he still to this day chooses to associate with James. How can any one of you look at yourself in the mirror and call that man a friend? There's no need to stick around to find out. Go look at James' profile and tell me you don't recognize the monster he truly is. He may have started this game with good intentions, but that man has lost his damn way. Even AI can put out some decent information. That doesn't mean it or he should be trusted. If you are offended by anything I've said thus far, you are welcome to see yourself out. Thanks for your time. Much love.
And cognitive nano-neural robotics, luciferase fluorescent nanosensors in our synthetic 3D printed food for biomarker analysis and real-time optical imaging of our brains. All I did was research synthetic biology and circular digital bioeconomy, but since I'm not a stakeholder, I'm now deemed insane. Some say look up, others ask why. Geoengineering experiments with smart dust falling from the sky, graphene and iron oxide immunosensors, mislabeled convey CRISPR injections, all of it fucking with our genes. These are just a few examples of biodigital convergence, the merging of man and machine. We are complex living systems. By tapping in and manipulating neurons, tech can be added to an organism to alter its function and purpose. New human bodies and new senses of identity will arise as the convergence continues. The coevolution of biological and brainwashing digital technologies will lead to citizen cyborg, our human biology always subject to manipulation by a neural nano network ran by deep machine learning algorithms inside our cells. Welcome to the Internet of bio-nano things. This biosurveillance system currently monitoring graphene, fullerene, and other metal fluorescent carbon nanotubes deep inside our bodies for the human-computer brain machine.
Right.
A lifetime of the internet inside our skin, providing targeted precision CRISPR nanomedicine to our blood-brain barriers and synthetic organs. Soon, a society is an optogenics brainwashed machine, our digital twins and social carbon credits in the virtual hell of the metaverse, flying in cyberspace in the computer game of Web3. Crimes against nature, crimes against man, don't want to be a biocomputer, too fucking bad. Techno-fascists control our future. We are the micro-nano routers, the battery that run the smart cities of 6G. Thank you for letting me read here tonight, and our next reader is